Oh,
Is he still a robot? I don't know.
Wow, roasted me.
My cat's here. Unfortunately, I'm
so
distracted
you guys
petting
made
him.
it out of... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. Let's see. We teamed up with Yuck Yuck, who was essentially useless through the entirety of what happened last session. We escaped the tiny little, like, prison-like chasm in which we found ourselves. Which I think, by some quite astounding engineering marvels, that we succeeded doing that. Got back to, like, the big main place with the four of us, Yuck Yuck and Globagool. And Yuck Yuck, like, muddled his way through to, like, yeah, I recognize this place, until we caught back up with Spiderbait, Bambalam. Spent the night there, slept, leveled up, like bosses, and they got us successfully to the big dwarven city, where hopefully the Hammer of Nathril resides. Or if it's not, then we're gonna have some serious words with Yuck Yuck and Spiderbait.
by which you just mean murder, right?
A power word kill could be, construed that way.
Oh,
Hey-oh.
drop that mic.
All right. That pretty well covers it. So I believe we left off with you guys on the outskirts of some sort of Underdark settlement. Find audio.
That sounds like us.
Yee.
And that was still kind of off in the distance when we left off last time. So I will turn it over to you.
I think we leveled up too. In
At
case
least
anyone
3
had anything.
times.
Yeah. In case anyone had anything pending.
Yep, everybody pick out their spells or whatever else they got. I think it was a lot of ability scores.
Yeah.
We got some new
First
spells.
martial people.
Unfortunately,
I think for everybody gets an ability score at 18.
shit. Unfortunately, sometime before the next time we level up, I'm gonna have to write down all of the 5th level druid spells. So that's gonna be a thing.
Ooh. Sounds horrible. You'd think they should have a button to just import those.
That would be nice. You probably need the material for that, though, which I certainly do not have.
True.
So maybe that's an option for, like, the bourgeoisie. The fat cats in their ivory towers. But, the common folk like me, just gotta type it out by hand. Doing the hard
Gotcha.
work. Swinging a pickaxe in the ram mines for sustenance.
I'd recommend copy and paste from a website, personally.
Nah, I think my way's a lot easier, you'll find. In the long run.
Okay.
Builds character. It builds calluses, which is also good for playing musical instruments, so you know. It's a win-win.
Well, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah. Speaking of floating boats and Globagool, do we want to, like... How are we going to handle this city? I kind of didn't think about this before right now, at this exact moment. Are we just going to, like, walk up like we own the place and be like, hey, dudes? Or are we going to try to, like, stick to the alleys and not talk to anybody? Because I kind of didn't expect we'd be met with this level of, like, civilization way down here. Sorry, Felix, you're really...
Yeah, I kind of agree.
No, you sound
Oh, is that
fine,
true? Am I still really far away?
Oh, no, hold on. Must have just been me. Sorry. It's, sounds tricky down here.
Yeah, I feel that. I don't think it's a great idea to just, like, ask around, but, like, I don't know, maybe if we sort of poke around and prod and be like, hey, is there anyone who can help me with, like, some magical items or something? And then we talk to the one person who could talk to us about the hammer of the name that I remember.
Nathril, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that one. I was gonna say Nathril, but it sounded wrong.
It's understandable.
Oh, yeah.
My concern is I don't really know, like, the temperament of the people down there. So, like, if they see us, I can imagine that going badly for us. If it's like, we've not exactly encountered anything pleasant down here yet, so I don't know if these people are going to be like, look, it's the above worlders, let's kill them. Or if it'll be like, oh, hey, what's up, dude?
It's a valid argument. Oops.
Globical, are you familiar with underworld civilizations? Do you have any input in this matter?
Sorry, did you ask that of Glabagul?
Yeah. I also asked it with my brain after I realized saying it with mouth words probably wouldn't work.
Glabagul kind of shifts slightly as you ask the question. I am not sure. My memories don't include much beyond where we just were.
Okay, no worries, dude. I think whatever we decide, it may be safest for people to not see you, because generally when people see a big gelatinous cube, they think it's a danger to themselves. And I'm afraid even if it's like a functioning society down there, I'm afraid somebody may try to do you harm, even if they're otherwise good people. And I don't know that we'd be able to stop them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What would you like me to do?
If you guys want, I could like wait here with Globagul and you guys could go down and scope the city.
I could make that work.
Globagul shoots you a telepathic message, since you had just been talking to him, Fal Dune. Whatever it is that is pulling me, it does seem to be pulling me towards the city.
Oh, weird. Still have no idea what that is. Just weird mystery force.
I am unsure. It's some kind of calling.
That stinks. And I say to the rest of my friends, Globagul is feeling a pull into the city. So probably that's where we gotta be going, I imagine.
Is it anywhere specific, or is it just, I want to go in there?
I feel like it's in a general, that kind of direction, and I point to absolutely nowhere in particular.
Glabagul kind of shimmers in a certain direction and says, It's not entirely clear, but it's definitely over that way, shimmering towards the city.
Just, over that way somewhere. We're still, kind of far out, so it's tough to get, like, a very specific place.
Well, let's waddle on in and figure it out.
I feel like if you had interpersonal magnetic pullings, you may understand that it's not, a science so much as it's, an art form.
Yeah, it's understandable.
It's sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we just sort of waltz in there and keep our heads down and don't ask too many questions.
And if you guys want to go for that, I'll stay here and make sure nothing happens to Globagul.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
So we've got Orsik, Wit, and Felix headed down towards the town, while Glabagul and Fal Dune stay back in the tunnels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good to me.
Okay, so for the three of you, we'll go to you guys for now. As you head down towards the city, what's your approach method?
I was gonna walk.
I think we should. Mm-hmm. Walking's good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're gonna like run screaming
on
with
2
weapons
legs.
held overhead. Or... we come in peace.
Huzzah!
Magnus
Oh.
thinks that's a great plan.
I thank you, Magnus.
Oh, quit pulling on my headphones.
Yes. Be the DM, Magnus. Take over.
No, there will not be a coup.
I think Magnus won.
I think he did. Yep.
Sorry, sort of trying to climb into my lap and yanking my headphones out.
That's a likely story.
I had to banish the rebels, exile them to the outside.
That sounds horrible.
All right, so sorry. Approach method. You were just walking down there calmly.
I mean,
I don't see why not.
I feel like if we already stick out like a sore thumb. Come on.
Mhm.
So
I mean, maybe Orsik fits in. I don't know.
Wow, that's
as you, so you can see the city in the distance as you leave the tunnels and head down towards it. But the floor slopes down as you walk away from the tunnel, and so the city kind of drops below the horizon of a small hill or something as you head down into the cavern. But it's relatively easy to tell that you're traveling in the right direction, because you can still see the light kind of shining up onto some of the stalactites and pillars in that area. So, as you draw closer, you, out of the darkness looms an enormous gate made of steel and some other kind of metal, with gorgeous carvings and inlays on it. And standing atop the wall above the gate, you see a handful of Svirfneblin, deep gnome.
I was about to say bless you, and can I get a translation?
Epinephrine? Oh, thank goodness.
Oh
so
man,
for a
just what
fortune.
I needed.
Just a little pick-me-up. Yep. So the Svirfneblin, deep gnomes, standing atop the wall and the gate, see you coming, and one of them shouts down to you, "Halt! Who goes there?"
Just a couple of travelers, passing through, I guess.
Travelers from where?
You know, up there, and I point sort of, up diagonally, sort of like the path we just traveled from, but like 45 degrees upwards. You know, just sort of like up there.
These are dangerous parts. What are you traveling here for?
How familiar are you with the fog that has encompassed the above side of the globe lately?
He turns and speaks briefly and quietly with one of the deep gnomes next to him, who disappears below the edge of the wall before he turns back to you. We have heard tell of this plague on the surface world. What about it?
Oh, it sucks pretty bad, and we're trying to find a way to alleviate it, and our travels have brought us here.
I see. And what is it that you want from our humble city?
I don't know if it's from your humble city per se, but we're looking for this type of hammer that will be able to shape star metal, I think into a perfect sphere, but I could be wrong about that. But I'm certainly right about the hammer of Nathril and the shaping of star metal.
Very well. I think we can allow you in and perhaps set up a meeting so that you can speak to the chief. Wait there for a moment.
Oh boy. Oh, will do.
So, there's a brief
Yeah.
conversation at the top of the wall, and then several of the deep gnomes jump into a wooden basket that is swung out over the edge on a small crane, which lowers it down to the ground on the outside of the gates. And the four of them approach the party. One of them holding out a blue gem, roughly the size of an apple, which he holds up in front of himself and kind of pans back and forth across the group. Nothing seems
This
to
is
happen,
cool.
and he pulls the gem back and puts it into a pouch and shouts back up, "They're clear!" And the gates begin to rumble open.
Perfect.
As the gates open, you've been doing all the talking, Felix, so as the gates open, he approaches
guess
you
so.
and says, "If you'll just follow us, sir, we'll lead you through the maze and to the city proper. Please stay close to us and do not wander."
Okie dokie. We do have another member who's lagging behind a little bit. Do you want us to wait up for them, or will they be okay to come in a little bit later once they catch up?
Why is he not with you? It's very dangerous to travel these parts alone.
Oh yeah, no kidding. He he's just kind of slow. I wish I could give you something more than that, but we didn't know if it was a situation where like we could just sort of come in all at once at our own pace. I said those two together, but they were separate. If we could come in all together, or if we could come in at our own pace.
First you said there was one, and then now you said that there were two? Which is it?
I'm sorry. I don't think I said two. I think I just said them because I didn't want to misgender them.
So it is them, so there's more than one.
I don't think you know how the singular pronoun them works. Oh, it's sort of gender neutral to refer to one person as them.
Wow, the dwarf's a homophobe. Sorry.
Jeez.
No.
So not progressive.
That's a gnome.
Man, you're not
Sorry,
even
Orsik.
identifying his race right.
He's a
You're even worse.
Smurflebling. With the Siva.
I wrote it down as a
Yeah.
Smurf Neblin.
A Smurf Nephilim, yeah.
I guess to fucking
Do
get
none
back
of you
at
know
him.
how to spell
Well-
Smurf Neblin?
Wow.
How
What a
many
slur.
points is it in
Smurf
Scrabble?
Neblin, my god.
Well, I heard Snurf Neblin, but I wanted to be disparaging towards them, so I put Smurf Neblin instead.
Hey.
Genius.
Guess that's
Brilliant plan.
before I knew they were homophobic, so now I'm just gonna like put an exclamation mark instead of an I guess, in there. Bitch.
All right. Well, if your friend comes along to the gate, he'll have to answer the same questions that you answered, but as long as everything is in order, he'll be able to follow you through.
Oh, okay. Then I'm not super worried about it.
So, with the gates open, two of the Smurf Neblin get in front of you and start leading you through, while the other two step behind you to follow the three of you in. Behind the gate, you enter an area with an area of narrow, winding tunnels with 10-foot-high walls. And as you move through this area, you notice that these 10-foot-high walls are studded with nails. And above the walls, you see catwalks and walkways with visibility down into the tunnels. And on some of those catwalks and walkways, you can see more deep gnomes, some with bows or crossbows, looking down, watching you as you go through the maze. The path slopes up and down, and in some places you can see large reservoirs of water behind dams, as if they're set to flood parts of the tunnel if necessary. And it does take you several minutes to wind your way through this treacherous maze before you come back out on the other side, and another set of gates, which has been opened before you, reveals down in a little valley in front of you the gnomish city or the deep gnomish city that you saw from a distance. The gate guards stop there and say, "We'll leave you here, but remember, there will always be guards watching. Be on your best behavior."
Comforting.
Alrighty.
They turn and head up a staircase that leads to the upper walkways, leaving you on your own at the outskirts of Blingdenstone.
Well, that's wonderful. Let's think. If Fal Dune's not here, we might have to try to camp out someplace where he's likely to find us.
I mean,
Where do we think that would be?
my vote is tavern.
I can get behind it.
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
We're also kind of an obvious group. I don't think it'll be hard for him.
You all stand
That is
head and
very
shoulders and waist above everyone else,
Yeah.
except for Fal.
Yeah, that's
except
fair
for Orsik. You're just head and shoulders above everybody.
Yeah, it feels sort of like home.
Alright. Shall we mosey our way to the nearest tavern?
I think
Huh.
I am going to. I mean, you're all welcome to join me. I think I'm going to break off and go to a blacksmith, or try to find one. Does it sound, or can I smell any smelting going on, or hear any anvils being clanked against? Anything that might point me in that direction?
You can definitely hear the ringing of someone working something on an anvil in the distance, so you're pretty confident you could find that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try and track that down. I need to see if someone can repair the armor that I have. It's taken a 1 AC hit, and I want to see if I can maybe get that filled in.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
So, which do we want to do first? Take care of that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna break off and start trying to track down a blacksmith.
Okay. So you take off, and the other two of you would see this as well as you started to enter the city. So I can give a general description now. The city of Blingdenstone appears to be one that is still in the process of rebuilding or recovering from some sort of past invasion or cataclysmic event. There are areas where dwellings are completely collapsed, just piles of rubble, and then other spots where someone has obviously repaired and rebuilt a structure in order to inhabit it. So the city seems like at one point it was much larger and much better inhabited than it currently is. Yet there's an obvious hustle and bustle of commerce and hard work going on as people go about their business, either walking the streets, going to the market, or working to rebuild one of the many, collapsed or shattered buildings that scatter around the streets. Everybody, go ahead and give me a perception check. Well, everybody, but
Yeah, that's fine.
I rolled the wrong thing at first.
You will.
I
Let
saw
me
the
see you.
P-E-R, and I'm like, I got it. Be seen with haste.
All right, Wit and Orsik. The two of you notice before Felix does that while there are people moving about their business and seem to be working as normal in any major city, almost everyone moving about the streets is armed in some way and is paying extra careful attention to those around them and is looking down cross streets as they pass them and looking up, checking dark corners as they walk by. Everyone seems to be very prepared, as if something bad is about to happen.
Fun.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fishy.
It's just feeling more and more like home.
Oh, there you go.
Look on the bright side. So, Orsik, you take a couple of cross streets, cut through a small, what seems to be like a small market square, and you find someone who has set up a makeshift blacksmith shop along a sidewall under an enormous stalactite, and he is hammering away at something on an anvil as you approach.
All right. Hail, blacksmith.
The stout-looking deep gnome looks up and nods at you. One moment. Before laying a few more strokes into whatever he's working on and setting it aside and approaching the counter. What is it I can help you with?
Looking for some repairs to my armor, and I'd like to point out. I'm assuming there'd be some pretty obvious caustic damage to the splint mail that I'm wearing right now, so I'll just kind of point to that. Do you think you could repair that?
Let me see it. He puts out his hand.
I will remove my splint mail.
All right. He takes it and he flips it inside out, looks at the inside, flips it back over, taps on some of the metal plates. The leather's not too bad. There are a couple of pieces of the mail of the splint here that could probably use replacement, but it's not plate. You could just splint them back onto the leather. I think this is something I could take on and probably do in a day or so.
And how much would this run me?
He kind of looks over towards a pile of metal stacked neatly on a workbench at the back of the shop, and then looks back at your splint mail. I'd say for these repairs, probably 20 gold.
How about 10, and I will sell you something cool, like and then I pull out a Hezro Fang, which was harvested from the Hell Dimension that we were in through the walking portals, and I show him that. Would you be interested in anything like this?
He gingerly takes the Hezru Fang from you, kind of turns it over, taps it on the counter, and then very gently taps it with a small hammer and kind of listens to how it rings. I might be able to use this in something. Tell you what, I'll do it for 12 and the Fang.
Deal.
He sticks out his hand.
And I give him 12 gold.
He takes the 12 gold, pockets it, and then shakes your hand with gusto. Excellent. I'll start on this as soon as I finish what I'm working on now, and hopefully have it for you sometime tomorrow. Good doing business with you.
Excellent. And you, sir. Before I walk away, I'm going to put on some chainmail that I was still carrying around.
Okay. While he was working on that, Fal Dune, let's go back to you for a minute. What have you and Glabagul been up to?
Now that everybody's left, I feel like this is going to be a dangerous scenario. I'm going to... I assume that I am in a position where I could see all of my friends being ushered into the city and not, like, being killed. Is that right?
I think, given the situation, I don't know that you would necessarily be able to see the gates of the city. The distance we're talking about, you can see like the lights of the city in the distance, and so you know that there's a settlement there. But things that are closer and not quite as well lit are harder to see. Plus, they're downhill from you.
Okay.
So they walked into the darkness, and you didn't hear any commotion or any.
Okay. Then in that case, I'll turn to Globagul and I'll say, "Oh, hey, dude, I've got an idea. If you don't mind being turned into a different kind of animal physically, I could, like, carry you around the city as this new animal form. For example, like some kind of a bug or a small bird or something that they won't notice. And I could try to get you in the city that way. Because, again, I'm afraid I won't be able to explain that, you are a friendly dude and mean nobody any harm. So I could cast a spell on you to change you into something else. Like, you would still be you, you would be able to think like you, but you would look different. So if that's a thing you're willing to do, if you're willing to entertain that idea, that's a way for us to get into the city without you being put into any danger."
Glabagul sits silently and sort of wavers gently for a few moments following that exchange. This sounds interesting. Oh, hang on. I gotta take a call, guys. 4-minute break.
I'll allow it.
No problem.
4 minutes
I
exactly.
actually, I'm gonna take Sadie out real quick. So it might be a little bit longer. Might just be like I don't know, 10 minutes maybe max.
Oh, you're fine.
She's quick, but just throwing it out there while we're breaking.
All right,
She
good
needs a walkie.
Yep, she's doing a dance. So
Uh-oh, go!
Here, Glyph. Speaking of breaks, I'm gonna get some H2O, and I'll be right back.
I'm gonna get some something similar.
Wow, you're leaving me. See what it is. You're all welcome. I have returned.
Meow.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
So fun story while we wait on Orsik to come back from walking the dog. I did, gosh, when was this?
Heroin?
A long time ago. I did some consulting work for a company based out of the UK that was doing like server hosting.
Mm.
So you could rent a Windows or a Linux server from them. And I rented a server from them, is how it started, in order to run a Minecraft server for my friends.
Nice.
Perfect.
Strapped.
And I had some sort of issue with it, and I knew what I needed to do, but I couldn't do it because I didn't have the access. So I messaged them like, "Hey, I need this thing done to my VPS. Can you do this for me?" And got to talking with them about it, and they ended up like kind of bringing me on as a consultant to help them try to launch their own like game hosting service.
Okay.
And though, in order to simplify things, and because they really only needed a little bit of consulting work out of me, they said like it's really hard to like pay you as a company in the UK and you're in the US, and we only really need like a little work. Like, let's not deal with all the tax headache. What if we just give you this VPS for free? Like, we'll just give you your servers for free and call that your payment. And you can give us, you can help us out with this. So I was
Okay.
like, fine, that's good. So they gave me they gave me these servers for free that I didn't have to pay for,
Nice.
and I spent, I don't know, it was a couple of months like off and on advising them and helping them set some things up to do some like specifically game focused hosting, not just server hosting. And the whole thing, they kind of petered out. They lost interest in it. And they're like, well, we're not really, I don't think we're really going to pursue it any further, but we appreciate your help. You can go ahead and just keep the VPSs for now. It's like, yeah, okay.
Oh,
And I kept those. They stayed up and working for like 3 years, 4 years or something past that point.
oh, nice.
They never took those servers from me. And eventually they did contact me. The guy said like, hey, do you mind if we shut these off? We need to move some stuff around. And I wasn't even using them at the time. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. I had a good run. 3 servers. But somewhere I am still in their invoicing and billing system. So every month I get an email from them invoicing me for the amount of $0.00, and then immediately another email telling me that my bill is paid for $0.00.
Aw,
So I don't know if
perfectly
that's ever gonna
balanced.
get. Yeah, I don't know if that's ever gonna get cleaned up. But every month I get a nice reminder of that.
Should frame one. Memories.
No, dude, sell that as an NFT. Get in on the game.
Not. Don't know if that would work.
Oh, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, that email just came in while we were playing a few minutes ago, so
Nice.
figured it was a nice story. Every now and then I wonder how they're doing. I did message the guy like probably 2 years ago, just to see how they were doing, and it sounds like business is good and they're doing well, so that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm back.
Good.
Cool.
I'll stop worrying.
Hey everyone, sorry for the delay.
No problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're good.
not sorry yet.
All right. So, I think we can go back to Fal Dune. You were just addressing Glabagool and offering to polymorph him, if I'm not mistaken.
Was offering that. And in fact, the offer still stands.
Glabagool seems to shimmer for a moment while he thinks about your request and says, that could be different. Are you sure I would not... the change would not be permanent?
No, it's for a maximum of like 1 hour, dude. So you should be fine, if my grasp of magic is correct.
What about once the hour has passed?
Hopefully by then we could like find an inn or something, and we could post you up in a room there and just tell everybody like, hey, don't go into that room, all my stuff's in there, don't go in there. Or come up with some excuse to get you into a place where people just won't disturb you. So this spell that I described to you, I could do that twice. So you'd have a maximum of about 2 hours before we just gotta get you somewhere. Hopefully we could find some kind of accommodation by then.
I think we can try it. I'm interested to see what's summoning me in that direction anyway, and it seems like we have to go through the city to get there.
Alright, is there anything in particular you'd like to be turned into? I promise I'm not high, despite how badly I just said that word.
I'm not sure what I could be turned into. I don't have much memory of other creatures.
Alright.
What would you suggest?
I'm thinking about something that's like cuddly, something that somebody would look at and be like, well, I'm not attacking that. Possibly like a dog, I'm thinking. It's got like 4 legs and they're furry and friendly. Thinking that could be a way to not draw attention.
If you think so.
Alright, rad. Are you ready to do that now? Also, as a side effect, I don't know if you'll still be able to communicate like this while you're transformed in such a fashion, so you'll have to make it known with physical gestures of some kind. You will be able to make like a noise, you'll be able to bark, like, yeah, woof woof. But you won't be able to communicate any words with any physical means, and I'm not sure if the telepathic communication thing is still going to be able to happen.
I understand.
Alright, radical. Alright, you ready to do this now?
Let's do it.
Alright. Woo, polymorph.
So, the gelatinous cube... Oop, I am throwing dice all over the place, apparently. The gelatinous cube begins to shrink and solidify, gradually coalescing into the shape of a dog. Go ahead and give us the description of this dog that you've transformed it into. What kind of dog is it? You must pay the tax.
Ah, that's a good point. Okay. So I will, in fact... I didn't think about this. I've accidentally transformed him into the most deadly, dangerous of all creatures ever put on this planet. A King Charles Cavalier Spaniel.
As soon as you said that, Orsik posted that picture, and that's, yeah.
It's not quite. This guy isn't as, like, mentally intimidating as a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel. He doesn't have, like, the raw intelligence or the sheer cunning, the natural good looks. But they're like...
My grandma had one. He was pretty adorable. Yeah, it was back in her, high-speed chase days.
Oh, Grandma.
I mean, he was the accomplice. Or she was the accomplice. 12. Oh, hold on. I should have pictures. Desktop. Let's go for number 1. Ugh, the face of terror. Well,
Got it.
Excellent.
So, Globagool is transformed into a King Charles Spaniel.
number 1 book in your screen.
He kind of totters back and forth for a moment. Seems to be flexing his newfound legs, looking at them. But he quickly gets the hang of them, and he takes off at a dead run and sprints a circle around you at about 15 yards. And you receive a telepathic message. This is fast.
Oh, dude, he's like real fast, dude. Some say he is, in fact, the fastest.
I like it.
Oh,
Let's
right.
go.
I'm also really glad the brain communication thing works out. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
go.
I judged that on, what is it? What does it say?
Well, you
I know it
keep
was in
all
there
of
somewhere.
the brain stats. So like intelligence, wisdom, charisma, all of that stays. And in addition, I think it also has the thing where if you're already concentrating on a spell, you can use any effects of that spell. So I'm not sure that's an exact one-to-one translation of telepathic communication abilities to that specific rule. But it's like I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that you would keep that.
Right. I'm judging that telepathy is a learned skill or a brain-based skill, and you're keeping your brain just in a new form, so it goes along with it.
Okay, I'm definitely okay with that.
So you head down towards the gate, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. While that's going on, let's jump over to. I'm losing track of all my groups here. Felix and Wit. So Orsik has wandered off to go find a blacksmith. What do you guys do in the meantime? Nope, sorry, Felix.
I
Not
sort of.
Orsik.
Oh no, you're good. I assumed we would have followed Orsik to the blacksmith, just because, like,
Yeah.
altogether it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to separate.
Like, we would let him go in by himself, but, we were there.
Gotcha. Okay.
That way we don't go into one inn and he goes into another inn, and it's just a giant kerfuffle.
Okay. So in that case, when Orsik, when you exit the blacksmith, as you are donning your backup chainmail, Wit and Felix are waiting outside for you, and I will give it back to the three of you for a few minutes.
Hola.
Hey, did you get that armor fixed up?
Yeah, he's working on it. But I put this old armor on that had the same AC value, so well, with the damage to my old armor, this one has the same. So not too much of a hit.
Backup.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
I think he has some axes.
It is
Just
always-
saying, Felix, if you need a hand axe, I think he'd be able to help you out.
Speaking of axes, we did recently pick up this mace that has some kind of an enchantment on it, that I have been meaning to get appraised. And if we can find someone to appraise it here, maybe we can also find somebody who knows something about that, Hammer of Nathril.
Not a bad
Hey,
idea.
sounds great to me. Yeah. I got time to burn now, so I'm gonna hang out with you guys and just follow you around.
Alrighty. I'm just gonna sort of wander around, I guess, until I find some kind of a shop that looks kind of magic-y, and or one that just sells, like, yeah, I guess, like, some kind of magic is really the vibe that I'm going for.
All right, so you're just looking for some sort of magical emporium.
Oh, or someplace where I can restock on bark.
Ah, also a good point.
Either one.
So, as you are walking around, you do eventually find a store from which you can feel some sort of vague magical emanations, and the sign over the door seems to indicate some sort of sorcerous components or wares lie inside.
Oh, sweet. Alright, I guess I'll go inside there.
As you enter,
Hey, this looks like a pretty good place to check.
As you enter, a small bell rings overhead, and the door swings closed. At the back of the shop, a deep gnome is manning a counter that is sized for a deep gnome, so it comes up to like your knees. And he's wearing a set of robes, and he seems to be poring over some sort of large tome of unknown contents. The shop itself has a number of shelves, which are, fortunately, the shelves are taller than the proprietor of the shop, although there is a small ladder which seems to be used by him to stock the higher shelves. And on the shelves there's a variety of magical components, scrolls, books, small glass vials with various colored liquids in them. Overall seems to be a relatively well-stocked well-stocked shop for the sorceress or wizardly among you.
Okay. I would like to roll up to him and say, "Hail, shopkeeper. May I ask for your expertise with some object that I found along my travels?"
He clears his throat and adjusts his spectacles, and then looks up at you, having to basically crane his neck to see you. Yes, what is it that you have?
Well, not too long ago, I found this mace that seems to have some kind of an evocation, effect placed upon it, and I was wondering if you could tell me what exactly, was going on about it.
He takes the mace and looks it over, hefting it briefly. Identify spell would be 5 silvers, and could tell you about it. I know that it is magical now, but I'll have to cast the spell in order to completely identify it.
Alright, that sounds fair. I hand over the 6 silvers that he asked for.
He takes the 6 silvers and drops one back on the counter before placing the 5 that he asked for back into a box behind the counter. And then, holding the mace, he mutters a few indistinct words and then hands the mace back to you. Hang on, let me read this real quick. I've got to pull it back from the book.
No worries.
Yes, this appears to have some kind of conjuration fire magic attached to it. It seems like you can use the mace to... you can cause the mace to become a light with a green flame, which can also be extinguished, and if you use it while it is lit, it will glow as brightly as a torch and also deal extra fire damage on a hit.
Whoa. Well, that's
That
pretty
seems like that
sweet.
could be quite useful. You've found something seems to have some value, young sir.
Huh, well, I certainly agree.
So, for your purposes, for your character sheet, common magical item, once you're attuned, you can use an action to light it, basically, or to extinguish it. Both are an action. And then it's as bright as a torch, and you get +1 fire damage if you hit somebody with it.
Nice.
Alrighty.
Oh, for the guy without dark vision, that actually works out pretty well.
Yeah.
Permanent torch.
I'm sorry, just to be clear, so it said 1d6 of bludgeoning and then an extra 1d6 of fire when it's ignited?
Just an extra +1 of fire.
No worries.
Yeah, join the +1 fire club. Me and you can rock the, I got the Azer hammer, you got the mace. Oh yeah, we're like twins now.
Twinsies.
Alright, that's all I need. For me personally, does anybody else have any questions?
Ask him about the hammer.
I'm getting to it, I just want to see if anybody else has anything to say.
No, homie, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Then, there was something else that I would like to ask you about. We've been traveling for some time now looking for, an object called the Hammer of Nathril, that will be able to forge star metal, and, our travels have taken us here. Would you happen to know anything about this hammer?
I'm gonna step out of game for a minute. I think someone got something confused in the notes, and I'm pretty sure your characters would have it right though. There was
Nathril.
there was a shadowy figure called Nathril, The hammer
No, that
that
can't
was
be it.
stolen from the dwarves was the hammer of Tungstone, though.
Shit.
Oh.
I can in fact confirm this, regrettably.
Oh, okay. Then I'd like to retcon that. And yeah, we're looking for this object called the Hammer of Tungstone that is able to shape star metal. And we were hoping if you knew anything about such an object.
He adjusts his glasses again. I've heard tell of this. A relic that the dwarves guarded most preciously. I do not know where it would be, but I'm just a lowly shopkeeper. Perhaps if you talk with the king's royal sorcerer, I'm sorry, the chief's royal sorcerer, my fault. If you talk with the chief's
you're good.
sorcerer, he might have more information.
Well, that certainly sounds lovely. Would you happen to know the protocol for speaking with the chief sorcerer? Is it like as simple as like walking up to the chief sorcerer and like asking for a
If you
talk,
go,
or is there like a more formal process?
if you go to the headquarters building at the end of the street and request an audience with him, he may grant you one. They are busy. It's not guaranteed, but if you intrigue him enough, he's known to be a curious sort. So you may be able to get an audience.
Alright, well, luckily we are a curious sort, so, hopefully we won't have too much trouble with that.
I wish you well. Is there anything else that I can provide you?
Me personally, I'm good.
Very well then.
I don't want to speak for all my friends here. Yeah, you too. Take care. And, I walk out, fully acknowledging that the silver coin is still there.
He seems to ignore it as well.
Ah, well, you know, his loss. Is there any kind of, like, wooded foliage down here? Either in a shop or just sort of out and about?
That was the next thing I was gonna have you address. There are a certain kind of trees that are, it's kind of like a cross between a tree and a giant mushroom that do grow in the Underdark. And you had run into them before, as I recall, at one of the encampments or something. I think somewhere where you stopped with Spiderbait and Yuck Yuck.
Yep, I remember it fondly.
Go ahead and give me an investigation.
Yes. Investigation.
All right.
Talking over there.
By carefully scouring a couple of streets, you do eventually find a craftsman who appears to be working with this zerkwood that is found sometimes here in the Underdark, making furniture. He is hard at work in the yard beside his shop, planing down a couple of planks of the woody fungus.
Alright. Target acquired. I guess I'll roll up to my fungus wood smithing bro and say, excuse me, sir. I happen to know you've got quite the quantity of zerkwood going over there, and I would just like to ask what you do with the rest of the what do you call the
Bark.
I don't really know the official term for the outside of the tree
Cork.
mushroom, but
No, that's
specifically
inside.
I'm interested in the bark.
Yeah, I don't know if there is an official term. I mean, I'm sure there is, but I don't know what it is.
Like, what do you call the outside? Yeah, the bark. There you go.
I'm not a fungusologist.
I'm not really
Yeah.
a fun guy.
Heyo. He looks up from where he's planing down a board and says, "Oh, the bark? I usually use it to start fires and stuff, but I've got so much of the stuff. There's a barrel of it back there. Do you need it for some reason?
A whole barrel, you say? I don't really want to bore you with the details, but I am in the market for as large a quantity of said bark as you could possibly provide.
In the market, you say? What's it worth
Sure
to you?
am. Well, I'll be honest, I've never really had to barter for bark before, but depending on the size of this barrel, I have approximately... Oops. One whole gold piece, 6 whole silver pieces of the common above ground folk variety, but I also have 15 of these strange silver coins that, quite frankly, I don't totally recognize.
He goes to the back of the shop, and he brings out a small cat. It's roughly the size of, I can't think of an in-game analog, but I'm going to go with like a bathroom or office trash can. About knee high. So, imagine I just said something that totally makes sense in world to describe the size of that.
A bucket.
Yeah, I got you. It's like a Schmiffling gnome keg.
Right,
Whatever you
exactly.
Yeah.
And inside it seems to be full of a number of scraps of the dark, spongy bark from the zirkwood tree. This is just what I scraped up today from clearing off some of these logs. It's usually just throw it out with the refuse, but if you want it, you can have it for 5 silvers.
Oh, easy. And I handed the last 6 silver pieces I have. Now, is that like the regular silvers, or is that these funny silver ones that I quite frankly don't recognize and don't know how valuable they are?
I don't remember where I gave you those silvers. Do you?
Go to the
I
Dave.
think it was sometime early upon us delving down into the, like, underneath the goblin
Let's
lair.
see. So it was after the thing that kicked our ass, which was apparently named, which we affectionately named the Stickler.
The tickler.
The Stickler.
Stickler, that's what it was.
We found about 40 arrows of +1 somewhere. I think this is in the place where we left when I got high, which it is.
That sounds right.
In some crates, Wit found 40 arrows of +1. We found 2 ogre jellies and 15 silver pieces in the digestive tract of one of the jellies. The other one has a small empty glass bottle.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep. The carpenter, I don't know why I lost that word for a minute, looks at the coins in your hand and says, yes, those will work fine. Coin of the realm here. And takes...
Oh, perfect.
And offers to take the unrecognized coins that you had.
Alright, I hand over all 6 that he asked for.
He counts them, looks at you, and then pockets the 6 that you handed.
Alrighty.
Shrewd businessman.
I very happily take my basket of scraps.
So for a person your size and for the size of the bucket, I would say like 10 meals worth of bark. A veritable cornucopia.
A smorgasbord.
Smorgasbark.
Alright, well, I'll be honest. I'm pretty much set for life.
As
10
long as you
days.
only live the next 10 days.
Right. As long as I die
No, 10
within
meals.
2
I've got
weeks,
5 days.
Oh, jeez.
All right. So with that out of the way, Fal Dune.
Yeah, what's up, dude?
So you and King Charles Glabagool, the Spaniel, presumably approach the gates leading into the city.
Yeah.
All right. The guards atop the wall shout down to you. Halt! Who goes there?
It's me, dude, a traveler seeking refuge within the city. I believe my friends passed by here not too long ago.
Your friends, you say? Can you describe them?
Yeah, there's a real big Loxodon man. You know, it's kind of like a rhino elephant dude, about yay tall, and I hold my hand like way up there. There was my friend who you may recognize by his stench, named Orsik. He's a dwarf, about yay tall and about yay wide. And there was Wit, who you probably didn't see at all, I'm gonna imagine. They said one of their friends was held back up there. That's because, I had to take my dog on a walk. I didn't want him to, make a mess within the city, dude, if you know what I mean. Poop-wise.
Roll deception.
I mean, I don't know. I was held up outside the city with the dog. I don't know if any deception is required. I can't believe that actually worked. Sorry, I can't believe you actually had to stop and think about that. Here we go. Woo!
Well, that's how good your deception roll was. I actually had to stop and think about it.
What deception, baby? Hook,
Deception
line, and
here.
sinker.
The guard buys the whole story. Ah, they did mention you. Very well. Wait there. I'll have someone escort you through.
Oh, sweet, thanks, dude.
2 men drop down from the wall in the basket. The gates open, and you heard the whole description from everybody else. They lead you through the maze with the nail-studded walls and the walkways with murder holes over it. And as they let you out into the through the inner gates and looking over the city, as the guard walks back up the stairs to go back to the walkway, he says over his shoulder, "Welcome to Blingdenstone, traveler."
Hey, thank you very much, dude.
So, you are now in Blingdenstone. Where are you going?
First of all, could you say that word for me slowly, please?
Blingdenstone. I will type it as well.
I can't believe I got that right on the first try.
Well done.
Exactly how I spelled it. Perfect. I thought I was making fun of you by doing it that way. Let's see. Where are my friends likely to go first? Let me think that. Not sure I'm well equipped enough for that. Let me see. Nope, don't have any spells that could be of any possible use to me right now. I guess... Could I... If there's any kind of, like, a main street, could I just walk down that and look for the biggest, tallest person that would be there? Which I have to imagine would be Felix. Or, just barring that, anyone that I know in a city of gnomes would probably be the tallest person in, like, their immediate vicinity.
Okay. And the rest of you are still out on the street after dealing with blacksmiths and
Carpenters.
peddlers of magic wares and carpenters. So I would say that this would probably work out. It's not a huge settlement. So after a few minutes of walking, you find your friends.
Hey, what's up, dudes?
Oh, not much.
Oh, finally found some more of your whack-ass food. That's good.
Well,
And the
you're
three of
going
you
right
notice
at it.
that there appears to be a somewhat clumsy King Charles Spaniel following Fal Dune.
Oh,
When
yeah.
did you get the dog?
About that. That's Globagool.
Also, dog.
And I lean in a little bit closer so as to not potentially attract so much attention. I thought it would be best if I disguised Globagool as something. So I made him into a dog. It's gonna wear off in like between 4 to 5. It's gonna wear off in about X minutes, where X is the number of minutes elapsed since 1 hour ago.
Well, if it's the number of minutes elapsed
No.
since 1
I
hour
think
ago,
it's
that
60
would be
minus.
minutes.
That's right. Yeah. What Felix said.
Alrighty.
So we've got about that long until I've got to cast Polymorph on him again. And after that, he's just going to turn back into, big globby globagool. So I was thinking we could, like, find an inn somewhere with a room where we could ask people to not disturb us, and he could just like chill out there for a while.
Sounds good
I
to
can get
me.
behind that.
All right, sweet. So if you guys want to like keep looking, bebopping around, I could look for an inn, and I could tell you where that is, or we could all go together, make a field trip out of it.
How about we all go together so we're no longer split up?
Okay, I do like that. I'll be honest, I'm kind of disappointed to
probably
be
a good
split up in the first place. I feel like if
Very
I'd come
sad.
up with the polymorph thing sooner, we could have all just had a dog and had a great experience together. And I'm sad that we've all been deprived of that.
Yeah, you and me both.
Alright, looking for an inn then? Is that the current plan?
I think that's the plan.
Alright, woo!
As we were discussing this, King Charles Glabagool the Spaniel does a brief circle around the group and kind of moves off to the end of an alley, and you see him kind of sniffing hesitantly down the alley before he comes back and sends you a message, Fal Dune.
Yeah.
The summoning is stronger. It's from that direction. Also, this sensation, this thing on my face, so many smells, I think, here.
Yeah, dude. If you want, once the 1 hour wears off, I can turn you into something different if you're not digging the whole smell thing.
We will see. Let's find that inn.
Alright, cool. Also, you may need to use the bathroom at some point. You'll probably know when that time hits, if it happens. If it does, you'll feel it like a oppression, like the tummy area, which is like this right here. I pet his tummy. If you feel something weird there happening, let us know so we can get that taken care of.
Real question is, if you're going to potty train a dog that's actually a gelatinous ooze, is that animal handling or persuasion? I don't know where they draw the line.
I think it would be like performance, because I don't think he's aware enough of the sensations of having a digestive tract to understand what any of that means without some kind of like, explaining colors to a blind person kind of situation.
Very true. I kind of had that sensation just a moment ago while I was trying to figure out how a gelatinous cube would describe the sense of smell for the first time.
Yeah, I don't know. It's we're in uncharted territory here for everybody, I feel.
Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
Right. Is there any inn around that seems reputable enough that we won't be in danger if we're in there, but cheap enough that we could afford it with our now yucked resources? That's gonna be a verb now.
I'm sorry I
It's
didn't
talking
kill
about
him.
We're rich.
Sorry, dude, I'm flat yucked.
There's not one on the street that you're on right now, but I'll say that Orsik, you recall seeing one 2 or 3 streets over.
Oh yeah, over there.
Of course.
Oh, sweet. Let's head over there and perhaps get one very spacious room.
All right. So, making your way 2 streets over, you do find what appears to be an inn. There is a large sign out front that appears to be on the sign there appears to be an oddly carved mug. And does anybody read Gnomish?
I do.
Wit, you can see that the lettering under the mug reads the Zirkwood Tankard.
Huh. I
Jesus
think you're
Christ.
gonna like this place, Felix. It's called the Zirkwood Tankard. Let's go.
Whoa.
You had me at tankard.
Ooh, maybe there's actual
You
alcohol
had
down
me at
here.
wood.
You also had me at wood.
Who knows what we had Glabagool
Alright.
at?
Yeah, I'm willing to give it a shot.
So, as you enter, you see that there does appear to be enough traffic from other creatures coming through here that the inn does appear to be mostly normal creature sized, although there are accommodations everywhere for the shorter deep gnomes. There is actually what appears to be an elf of some kind sitting at a table drinking something from a mug over in the corner. Otherwise, the patrons are mostly other deep gnomes. And behind the bar, there is a rather stout-looking deep gnome polishing glasses and serving drinks as you approach.
Let us approach.
So he looks up.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Ah, travelers. Don't see many like you here. Looking specifically at Felix as he says that.
Wow, homophobic and racist.
Wow. Wait, why are they homophobic again? Oh, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. It's earlier. Maybe it's different. In a different section of the city, they have different prejudices.
No, that's fine. I get it.
They organize.
right, they're all
the city by
bigoted in different
prejudice.
ways.
That seems efficient.
These guys are racist. These guys are homophobes.
Well, I assume you'll be needing rooms?
You assume correct.
All right. The going rate right now for a room with 2 beds is 1 gold per night.
Alrighty. How many rooms are we gonna need total? For us?
Well, perhaps we could make something work here. How big are these rooms exactly that you're offering up for 1 gold per night?
Well, the majority of our rooms with 2 beds in them are 10 by 10.
Perhaps
That's not shabby.
is there some kind of suite room, like a larger space for us? You know, would be willing to pay a little bit more for such luxurious accommodations, obviously.
Well, we do have a penthouse, so to speak, for 4 golds a night. We can get you that instead, and it's somewhat larger and comes with its own private bathing chamber and a small sitting room.
Oh, hold up. I heard the word private bathing chamber.
Luxury indeed. May my friends and I have a chance to discuss these prices amongst ourselves.
Of course.
All right,
He moves down the bar to serve a drink to someone who's flagging him down while you discuss.
all right, thank you, dude.
Oh, what a swell guy.
My concern is once our friend here, and I scratch Globagool behind the ear. Once this wears off, we may need a larger space, because by my reckoning, Globagool is almost exactly 10 feet by 10 feet, and they may come back to a destroyed room. Which, granted, I think would be quite funny, but in terms of not raising suspicion, perhaps may not be the best idea.
No. It'll be great. They'll find like all the furniture floating, and we can be like, ooh, ghost room, ooh, 8 gold per night, please, ooh.
This room's haunted. I want my money back.
We can perform an exorcism for a fee?
Dude, oh!
Just put me in there. I'll gas it out. It's fine.
Nah, there it is. We perform the exorcism, and we just turn Globagool into like a spider or something really small, so it's like, boom, it's fixed. We're the greatest.
Look at this.
So the more the
we
more
could-
words that I'm saying, the more excited I am about this idea.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited. We found our new way to
We are.
swindle.
I guess so. Although, imagine if we could do that with a regular room. Imagine how much we could get from hunting the penthouse.
That's Felix. I knew we brought you around for a reason.
And we do have a total of 24 gold in the group fund
I've also
That,
got a bit
we
more
could
that I'm
use.
willing to chip in.
to fund that endeavor. I don't know. That'd be up to you. But we do have at least enough money for that.
Okay. I'd be willing for that because also I would be quite interested in having a bath. I don't know about you dudes.
Well, sure.
What's that?
It's this really cool
Um.
thing where it's like you get a tub full of water and you submerge yourself in it with the intent of becoming clean. I understand this is a new concept for you, Orsik, but like people are known
So
to do that.
you turn yourself into a broth, basically.
You know what? I'm willing to say yes.
It kind of
Alright.
sounds like it.
I'm picturing us pushing Orsik into the bath with a really long, like, loofah, trying to scrub him down.
He's just steeping in the water, making dirt tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually becomes a broth,
Could we
complete with like
sell
leaves and
Orsik?
dirt and shit.
He gets out and the water's like thick.
Ugh.
My
Now
beard is
selling
actually changing colors, like as
Orsik
more dirt.
bathwater.
Yeah.
Orsik, you're not actually a dwarf. You're a gnome just covered in layers of grime.
It's actually 3 gnomes stuck together with dirt.
Now I really need you guys to rent the penthouse and take baths.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm all
easy.
about it.
Also, if anyone wants like a
Alright,
drink or something, now may be the time while we have the barkeeper's attention. Or when we hail over the bartender, may want to put that in.
Put in our food order.
Alright, that works for me.
Maybe we save money.
Yeah. What about food? Like that's where I was going with it. It's like rations and things like that. Should we try to like stock back up on that stuff? I think I am kind of low. I mean, I know we have our berries, but I don't know how many of those you can make.
I could do that quite a bit more today. I'm looking back through the history. It seems like I cast that spell earlier in this day, I think.
That's a level 1 spell, isn't it?
It is, or if it came to it, I could just cast it again and we'd know with certainty. So like me personally, I'd kind of rather not spend the money at the moment. After Orsik, you said you had to go repair your armor and the cost of the penthouse. If that ends up costing us a bit of money, I'd be fine with a good berry.
Yeah, I'd be good with that too. I have
Good
3 gold
berries.
left on me. If we need to pool some resources, you guys are welcome to 3 gold if you need it.
Well, Felix is saying that we have enough for room and board from the community fund. So I assume any cost we incurred today could just come out of that.
Okay.
Yeah, we should be good.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I guess I'm good then.
I'm also good. Renting out the penthouse.
Yeah.
The innkeeper slides back down the bar as he's finished serving the other patron. Well, what'll it be?
We'll take the penthouse, dude, if that's still available.
We can do that. That'll be 4 golds. That does include a meal. You have to pay for drinks, though.
Yeah,
Oh, that's fine.
totally understandable. Right. And I'll hand him
Alright, I
4
hand over the
gold
4 gold.
that I take out
I
of
got it.
Felix's community fund.
Perfect.
All right. He pockets the 4 gold and slides a small key on a carved wooden keychain across to you and says it's upstairs, end of the hall, last door.
Alright, radical. Thank you very much.
He nods and returns to tending bar.
Alright, cool.
Alright.
I guess I'll head up to go take a bath and get some sleep.
That sounds fair to me. He did say that it comes with a meal in case anyone actually wants to eat something. Like I've been doing for the last few minutes.
Just constantly walking around
yeah,
with a bag
that's
of
what I-
popcorn. That's all I picture.
Pretty much. Pretty much. I think that size is about accurate for how big I am and how small the barrel is. It'd be like a large popcorn.
That's all I can see.
Pretty much what I was imagining.
Oh,
We're like in an important meeting and you're just over there.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
It's like eating peanuts, but with the shell still on.
Yep.
I could go for some peanuts.
Hey, speaking of food, the barkeeper said it comes with a meal. I wonder if that means for the 4 of us there is one meal that we'll have to share
One
between
meal,
all.
yes. Y'all
You
get
may
to split
share
this.
one potato and a slice of bread, toasted.
Oh, fuck that! I want. Go fucking give me the potato. We could bring that back over there, and I could use plant growth, turn it into fucking some more crops. Yes, please. It's the best possible
All the
outcome.
dirt that you wash off of Orsik, you can use that to plant the potato in.
Call me Mark
Oh my
Watney, baby.
gosh.
Probably going to be super fertile too.
Oh, it's perfect.
Those mushrooms can almost guarantee grow in whatever this grime is that comes off.
He's probably lucky he doesn't have mushrooms growing on him already.
What? How does one acquire this?
What, that bag of popcorn?
Why is the drink so puny relatively?
Where have I seen?
Probably because he
someone
has a
with
full
of popcorn
trash
that
bag
big?
worth of popcorn.
I've seen. Oh crap! Where was it?
I also like how he's the only guy in the row. But he's wasting so much of it. What are you doing, man?
No, most of it's dribbling back into the bag, I think. Oh, no, you're right. No,
Nah, some of it's falling on the ground.
I don't know if I like popcorn quite that much.
I don't think my stomach would be that expansive, among other problems.
I mean, you'd have to eat it over like a week, at least.
Maybe 3 days.
Oh,
I'm
We
sorry.
used to
4 days.
when we back in the before times, when we would occasionally go to the movie theater, we would get like the large popcorn that came with free refills so that we could split it, and then on our way out we would refill it for a snack for the ride home, and then when we got home we would give the rest of the popcorn to the chickens. They loved it.
Oh.
Oh, awesome.
that's funny.
Okay, if they're giving me free refills, I'm gonna give my chickens it.
A lovely treat for the chickies.
Might as
Yeah.
well.
Treat yourself.
So, you head up to the penthouse suite, which turns out to not be super penthousey. There is a moderately sized sitting room that the door opens onto, with a bedchamber off to the right and a room off to the left that has a large copper tub and wonder of wonders, faucets on the wall.
Meow.
There is enough room in the sitting room, however, that if you move the furniture, there would be room for one gelatinous cube in the corner.
Perfect.
Whoa. This place has
This
everything.
is your corner. Don't move.
And you are probably about approaching an hour now, so cast that initially.
Alright. Could we perhaps move the furniture to give Globagool a little more space? Because I don't want him to be like, cool, you're just gonna sit here and do nothing else.
Yeah, I thought we would. Do a little rearrangement.
Sure, you can move enough of the furniture out of the way that he has the run of that room, but it's let's call it 15 by 15. So he doesn't have a bunch of space, but
Hey, you could stretch out. It's not like one of the Japanese, sleep hotels where it's like they put you in a coffin in the wall. That's probably a thing.
Probably. I love that confidence.
you can tell he's well traveled.
You can tell I've never been to Japan.
So,
Which
do you want the polymorph
section of
rat?
this city is the...
This one. And I point at my genitals.
No, which section of the city is reserved for bigoted against the Japanese and their sleep hotels?
This room
Have we got
specifically.
over that yet?
This room,
Just this room.
Oh, this room. Okay, got gotcha.
So we're in the right room.
properly sorted.
Yeah, right. Thank God we got the penthouse.
All right, so you're letting the polymorph
sorry.
lap, and Globagool can become his Globagooly self.
Yeah.
Okay. So, after running around and sniffing the room profusely, Globagool... Blah, 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 blah.
Blabba blue.
That's probably the sound he makes, too.
Yeah, probably. Globagool pauses it sort of shakes before he starts to expand and become transparent and morphs back into the near transparent gelatinous cube that you know and, well, tolerate. He sort of shimmers a little bit and sends a telepathic message to Fal Dune. That was interesting. That form is fast, and smelling is strange.
Oh yeah, glad you enjoyed it, dude. We're almost certainly gonna need to do that again to get you out of here. So we could either turn you into the same thing or into something different, potentially.
I will think on it.
All right, sweet. It's,
All right. What's everybody else up to?
I guess here's another question. If, hypothetically, I'm not saying we're going to do this, I'm just, spitballing here. If we turn Globagool into something, and then we bathe Globagool as that new form, when he reverts back, will he be clean? So I'm going to say yes.
Well, that implies that he's currently dirty.
Oh, okay, so
Right.
if we turn Orsik into something, and we bathe him.
That would be so much easier.
Well, now it gets a lot tougher.
Because it would be really funny if we...
Then to clean him?
it would be funny if we turn him into, like, an ant, and it's, like, an ant within this, like, soccer ball-sized pool of filth.
I think the ruling is that anything on your person melds into your new form. So,
That's
like,
bullshit.
if you're wearing clothes, they would disappear into his ant form.
Okay.
And I am assuming that the same thing would occur with caked on dirt and other debris.
Okay, big brain play. If we ever need Orsik to be clean, like, right now, we just polymorph him into himself. Boom! Who's with me?
I'm shocked. I'm shocked at how decent of an idea this is.
I don't know how to rule that.
We could just
Form
have him, like,
of-
put all his stuff on the ground, so he's not wearing or carrying it. Then we polymorph him into a dwarf.
Oh my
Form
gosh.
of me.
Clean Orsik.
Make me the most powerful thing I can imagine. Orsik, you still look like you. It fucking worked!
I mean, I guess theoretically it would work. Yeah, I don't see any reason it wouldn't, because the mental, like, all the mental aspects would still be him. The worst thing I could say was, I don't know if we could judge that his physical statistics would be the same, or would he take on more generic dwarf physical attributes? I don't know how I would rule that.
Well, I don't think a dwarf would be counted as a creature, so I'm not sure that would work. I think that's classified
It
in the
depends
book
who you ask.
right. Maybe if we go to the racist town, they could, like, have them cast the spell. It's probably someone racist against dwarves, I imagine.
What if
Find
I
the right neighborhood.
Yeah.
what if I like jump into Globagool and I don't know if he can assume my form that way. If he could like become I don't know if he has any doppelganger like abilities.
I just imagine Orsik running and, like, belly flopping into Globagool.
That's exactly my thought. Yes.
This is the best campaign.
Good something.
I am currently looking at spells. Okay, true polymorph doesn't really make any difference because that's mostly adding creature to creature, creature to object, or object into a creature. So it doesn't really make any difference there. I mean, yeah, I guess I guess you could turn Orsik into a clean version of Orsik for 1 hour. Brilliant. If you ever have to take Orsik to a ball, now you know what to do.
Yeah, I'm like Cinder Orsik.
Oh my gosh. And this is where the romance plot comes in.
Quick, someone turn this like squash into a carriage.
And
Or
then get
Orsik
him
turn
back
objects
before the
into-
hour expires, or he'll turn into normal Orsik. Meanwhile, there's some very, very confused prince out there running around with a boot. Grimy, nasty boot.
Yeah.
Who does it fit?
It's got like holes where the toes are supposed to be. I love it. One day I'll find my true love.
One day your prince will come.
Instead of a boot, it's a carton full of spoiled eggs. Oh no.
My baby!
Then yeah, that'll be the moral of the Disney movie we just created, is that the true love was with you from the beginning.
Only had to open your eyes.
I think I got those 40 eggs, like, I don't know, one
Like
of the first.
episode 2 or
Yeah.
something.
There's
For
no
your
way
eyes
they're
so
still
long.
good.
Yeah, I think you're probably carrying around rotten eggs by now.
Yeah.
Not that anyone will notice.
I mean, we did technically like take them to hell and back, and traveled across swaths of the unknown. So yeah, I'm sure it's not pretty when you open my backpack.
They're either rotten or they're going to hatch into some sort of eldritch horror. So, anyway, anybody else doing anything tonight?
Nope. I'm going to, I think, go to bed.
We're taking a
if
bath. We're going to bed.
Got it.
We're basically old people.
It sounds great. Maybe a glass of red wine if I'm feeling spicy.
No, I am totally with it. That sounds like a great night.
Oh hey, they also
does,
did
doesn't
offer us a
it?
meal. Perhaps if they have like a fireplace, we could really complete the old person act.
Oh, do they have like a bingo game going on downstairs? You know, really hopping
I will
at this
kick
late
all
hour
your
of
butts at
6:30
canasta.
PM?
We got a bingo over here.
Maybe there's a minstrel downstairs telling stories of the old, ye old detective Matlock.
My boy.
Gosh, let's hope so.
All right. So whoever's taking baths takes baths, and whoever's going to bed goes to bed. There is only one large bed in the bed chamber, but with the couch and the chair from the sitting room, there are places enough for everyone to find somewhere comfy to settle in for some rest.
I call a chair.
I don't mind sleeping on the floor. I think it'll be more comfortable than sleeping on the undersized couch.
Wait, we'll be selfish and take the
For
bed.
me personally. No worries.
Orsik is gonna spend all night drinking, stumble in at 4 in the morning, and pass out on the floor.
We find him spooning
Oh,
with Felix
perfect.
in the morning.
It's gonna be like
Or
Stardew
Gabagool.
Valley.
Gabagool. Yeah. He wakes up suffocating inside of Gabagool.
Booming.
If I still have a little bit of time during the night, would it be possible for me to continue reading Greris Folio of Blood?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me the investigation.
Bam. That is what we've been doing. Oh, thank goodness.
19. Nice. All right. Let's see.
I did well.
All right. You don't pick out anything new, but you do make sense of a couple of sections, and you feel like you're pretty close to learning something new from it.
Alright, I can live with that.
All right,
and I
and
shall
everybody
also
else.
go to bed.
All right, and everybody else gets a successful long rest.
Hooray!
Well, everybody, I guess, gets a long rest. Not everybody else. Sorry, Felix. I didn't mean to discriminate against the readers in the group.
No, don't worry, I get it. The other is only for those against the Japanese. You're nothing. There hasn't yet been a room assigned for anti-reader discrimination.
All right. So, with that out of the way, you all wake up in the morning feeling quite refreshed from getting to sleep in an area that is actually marginally safer than, underdark tunnels. And Glabagool is still gently quivering in the corner when you awake. What are you guys doing?
Hungry?
Sorry, I couldn't
What'd
hear
you
you.
say?
Hungry?
Hungry.
Mr. Berryman, please?
Mr. Berryman.
Oh, sure.
Our vending machine. You're just like over there poking. I'm like, how does this dispense the berries?
I am getting hungry. Good berry. It's coming. I promise. It's in the mail. This character sheet.
Quit poking me now! Ah,
Doing hell of an. I'm trying. I panicked.
only slowing me down.
Also, I am going to rearrange my spells a little bit, but I do still have good berry. Just
Okay.
throwing that out there.
Maybe you should rearrange your spells onto a character sheet that loads.
Yeah.
Fucking, I wish.
That's a good idea.
Imagine.
Imagine all the spell slots.
Good joke.
All right, so Fal Dune produces enough good berries for everyone. What's the plan for the morning?
I guess we find this, what was it,
Um,
court sorcerer and try and get an audience with him.
Correct. Probably should have done that yesterday, come to think of it.
We had to deliver the
no,
Globagul
we
to
needed
his
to
room.
rest.
Also, yes, sleepies.
Yep. I think sorcerer's a good idea.
Cool.
All right, so you head outside, I guess, to
Yeah.
try and find the headquarters building.
Yeah, I would
Unless
like.
he's in here.
I need to check on my blacksmith. I might break off. How early in the morning is
Oh.
it? Would he be done?
You arrived in the afternoon yesterday, and it's you're like 8-9 a.m. right now at best.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
So
Yeah, no,
probably not done yet.
I'll go to headquarters and then I'll follow back. Swing back around when we're done there.
Okay. So, after you had, I would assume you had probably saw headquarters at some point yesterday in all of your wandering around. So, are you headed straight there? Are you doing anything else along the way?
I was gonna power walk right there if everyone else is cool with it.
Good with that.
Yeah,
All right.
see why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
So you power walk your way over to the headquarters building, and there are several armed deep gnomes out front, guarding the door, and one of them looks at you as you approach. State your business.
We are here to see the royal sorcerer, I think, or the chief's sorcerer, regarding the hammer of tongue stone.
You need to talk to Gurnik. Does he know you're coming?
I mean, I haven't told him, but with his mystical ways, I wouldn't be too surprised if he knows we're coming.
All right, I'll send a message.
Already.
He turns and talks to one of the other deep gnomes with him, who disappears through the door, which closes behind him, and he commences to wait for several minutes for the messenger gnome to return. Once the messenger gnome returns, whispers something in the first guy's ear, and then goes back to standing guard, and he turns to you. All right. Gurnik says he can see you. Go on in. There'll be someone to lead you to his office.
Oh, thank you. I guess I'll just go in.
Cool.
And I guess I should have asked this before. I assume you left Glabagool back in the room.
I would
Yes.
like to do that.
Yeah.
Also, while we're there, if we could kind of
Yeah.
backtrack that a little bit, could I also ask the innkeeper to not disturb the room? And I give them some kind of pretext about, like, dude, the dog scares it easily, and I don't want anyone to have to be responsible for that. Like, he's going to be a good boy and just, like, sleep all day, so don't disturb him.
Deception?
Okay, I was going to try to rules lawyer that
If
one and
it-
be like, I don't know that he's not going to sleep all day.
Yeah, but he's also not a dog.
Right.
If it helps, I would come armed with 4 gold pieces to reserve the room for another night.
Oh, yes, I did also forget about that.
You know, slightly more legal methods.
That's nothing illegal about lying. It's illegal to be caught.
And even then, it's
Yeah,
contextual,
excellent.
right? The 4 gold pieces sway the innkeeper, along with your reasonably well-crafted lie, and he accepts the golds and nods. I'll be sure not to disturb him.
Yeah, sweet, thank you.
So, on the other end, as you pass through the doors, you find yourself in the headquarters building, which is not ornate or palatial by any means. It appears to be a fairly average, if larger, building. There is no artwork on the walls, no sculptures or anything like that. It's just a very utilitarian, sparse space. There is an attendant inside who leads you down the hallway, through a doorway into another hallway, and then knocks briefly on an office door. Something that you can't make out is murmured from inside, and then he opens the door and gestures for you to enter.
I'm gonna message Wit real quick with my finger pistols and be like, oh, I've already forgotten this guy's name. What is it? What's this guy's name? It's like Gurnak or something?
Nick.
Gurnik.
Gurnik. Okay. I thought it was okay, thank you. I don't want to mess up.
Yeah, hey Gary,
there,
what's happening, by the way?
Nicky boy,
My boy.
What's up, Gurbeck?
buddy. Ow.
Hey there, Friendorino.
So, as you enter the room, you find yourself in a sparsely furnished study of sorts. There's a shelf on the wall piled with books and scrolls, a table containing some magical components, and an open book. And then at the other side of the room, there is a desk, behind which is seated a studious-looking older deep gnome, wearing the obvious robes of a wizard. And he looks up as you enter. So, you mentioned this hammer, yes?
We sure did. The Hammer of
What-
Tungstone.
What can you tell me about this?
From personal experience, not a whole lot, but word has it that it is able to shape star metal into a form that we would need on the surface in a ritual that would get rid of the fog that has really become just a huge pain up there lately.
Yes. I've heard of this this artifact before, and what makes you think that it would be here?
We got tipped off from one of our magical friends on the surface, who directed us towards this goblin lair, and then within the goblin lair was a tunnel that led downwards. And as we continued going downwards following this lead, we just sort of ended up in this city.
Well, I cannot say that I entirely trust your motives, but I think we may be able to
That's
come
fair.
to an agreement. I'm
Well, I sure
Gurnik,
hope so.
and I am the chief sorcerer for the town of Blingdenstone, and we have an issue, and it seems like we may also have some information that could be of assistance to you. I think we can make a deal.
Well, I don't mean to brag, but I have been known to make quite a few deals in my time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gurnik, I feel like you're really gonna like this. Trying to make a deal with this guy.
Yeah, it'll definitely come out in your favor.
How about we solve all your problems, and you give us some information about the hammer?
Gurnik looks at the four of you as you all relay this information. Well, that's actually pretty close to what I was going to get to. See, some years ago, and he takes on the air. Clearly takes on the air of someone telling an oft-told story or myth. Some years ago, the town of Blingdenstone was much larger, much better inhabited, and much more grand than what you've seen so far. We were driven from our home by armies of beasts, and it took us many years to regain the strength to come and take them back. The effort of reclaiming our town and beginning to rebuild it has been quite strenuous, and still on a daily basis we lose people to incursions by creatures of the darkness and other foul apparitions. We do fairly well with most of these as long as we are careful and as long as everyone maintains constant vigilance and is aware of their surroundings, but something has been growing and festering over in the northeastern parts of the town. The current range of our rebuilding has been very small, and in some of the older areas, it seems like something or someone has been summoning foul oozes and jellies to wreak some sort of havoc. We've sent a few small scouting parties to try and figure out the situation, but none of them have returned. All we know is that anyone that goes to that area has seen a very large number of oozes and puddings and jellies gathering there, and several groups have been lost in those attempts. We need someone of considerable strength and skill to help us in purging the area of this pestilence before it grows any further or spills out into the populated areas of the town that we've been rebuilding. Is this something you think you could assist us with? See, you are all struck speechless.
Some of us are struck note-taking.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I do that sometimes. I just sort of think my answer instead of actually saying it out loud. Well, I mean, that certainly sounds like something that's doable, except for all the reasons you just gave us why it might not be doable. But you know what? I'm willing to try it anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Hold on, did I just think that, or was that out loud again?
That was
we
out
heard you.
loud.
I was just seeing if the rest of the party was
Perfect.
Yeah, we should be able to take care of that given our extensive resume. And I hand him over a piece of paper with, like, a small list of our accomplishments so far. Gotta keep that around, because enough people have asked us, exactly what kind of trials and tribulations we've been through. I figured giving them one of them sheets of paper really helps, set expectations.
Can you tell me what's on the resume?
So it's everything that Fal Dune would think is important that we've done so far. So along with things of like, yeah, we rescued the Sapphire Sun from the Goblin Lair, and we survived like the kind of landless landmass that we had to pass through to get to not Varrock, Jesus, wherever the dwarves were that Fal Dune would definitely remember.
That would be a town in RuneScape, sir.
I know it is, but it's got rock in it. Nurik, bam, found it, remembered it.
Yeah.
In addition to that are things like once transformed into a cat. Or you rescued a displacer beast and befriended it. With like the smiley face with a colon and a 3.
Yeah.
And a crudely drawn picture of a cat.
He looks over the resume. I see. Very impressive. I think we can work something out. If you can help us purge that area of these dastardly oozes and puddings and whatever it is that's summoning them there, I believe we have some information about that hammer you're looking for.
Nice.
Very well. If you think you can assist us, I think we may also be able to help you improve our chances. He opens up a desk drawer and rummages around where you can't see. And he comes up with a number of small vials, which he hands across to you. Given the proclivities of oozes and jellies to dissolve and damage armor and weapons that are used against them, we've come up with this concoction from some of the local mushrooms that seems to negate the worst of the effects of this acid on weapons and armor. I recommend that you apply it to any metallic items you may have that you wish to protect from those corrosive elements.
Gold.
Wow.
Metal? No thanks, dude.
Metal
It will
thanks,
not-
dude.
I believe your spear also got damaged at one point. I think the puddings it is that damage wood as well as
Yeah, they
metal.
don't care.
Oh, it's wood, so it's the haft of the spear.
Yeah, so I think your spear got damaged at one point too.
That is correct. Luckily, we know where a carpenter lives.
There you go. Just throwing that out there in case you forgot.
Boom.
Mushrooms, are those the ones that grow that we've seen in the caves?
There's a very specific kind of mushroom that's required for this, among other things, and it took it took several of our foraging parties quite some time to gather enough resources to create this amount of the protectant. We're working on fitting out the rest of a couple of squads with this as well, as I believe that the threats you will face in the cavern are far more than you can fight alone. I recommend you apply that shortly before the battle. I do not think it will last more than a few hours upon your weapons, but hopefully that will be enough time for our squads to engage and distract the majority of the oozes and puddings so that you can strike to the heart of this gelatinous beast.
Have your alchemists been able to create a salve from this, from these mushrooms, or something that might be maybe a little bit more potent than a few hours worth?
Sadly, we've not been able to create anything that would stabilize long enough for that. They are still working.
Okay, thank you.
So, if you will help us, we will plan on launching the attack on that area. Probably tomorrow. I will have to talk to the marshal to make sure that we have everything arranged from our side. If you have any other preparations you need to make, recommend that you get to them and probably get a good night's rest tonight, as tomorrow will be a busy and likely dangerous day.
Oh, you had me at danger. Orsik's in.
Yeah, sounds good to me, dude.
Yeah, that's just like a Tuesday for us.
Very well. I will inform the marshal. We will send someone for you. With that, he goes back to the ledger that he was going through.
Cool.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'll take my leave.
Yep, I'll follow.
Back out we go.
So, the attendant leads you back to the front of the building and escorts you out through the door and onto the street where you are once again on your own.
Well, I think we nailed that.
Their success rate's pretty good.
Must have been the super professional cover letter. Employers fucking love that cover letter for some reason.
You really need to work on your spelling.
What? I didn't know. To be fair, I didn't know which letters.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I didn't know which letters, like the weird swoopy lines went over, so I just put them over all of them to cover my bases.
Yeah, that's probably good thinking.
So, what's up now?
Guess we should check on Orsik's armor, right?
Yeah,
Good to me.
We're probably gonna need that.
I don't see why not. Yep, let's
Here's
go.
what I immediately saw in my head when Fal Dune called it.
Yes!
Highly accurate. Oh, the Grand Exchange. Hell
Someone
yeah.
trading a GF. I gotta look. Yeah. No.
Why are there two guys standing next to
Not
each
that
other?
I've never played
No, go for it.
Not that I've never played RuneScape before, but does GF mean something different in RuneScape than it does the rest of the
Oh
planet?
no. It means girlfriend.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
making sure.
I didn't even. Is that on there somewhere? I didn't even see it.
No, it isn't. I was looking for
No,
it.
it's not.
Oh,
Good comment.
Who just knows
Pretty
about it?
much. Yeah. It's the same for like Diablo 2. This item please was a big one for the BR community like that. They would spell it like that.
Oh jeez.
I love people. Well,
Great.
people were probably doing that instead of going to school, from my experience, so that makes sense. That tracks.
I was playing that at school. I would skip class and go to the library, and I had everything
Genius.
there. StarCraft, Half-Life. Yeah, it was a good time.
yes, armor trimming.
Yep. If you press Alt F4, something really cool happens.
Drop your item and press Alt F4 to duplicate it.
Kids.
That's
So
fun.
so much innocence taken away. And then you steal their items and run.
Yep.
Genius.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
When they get back
brilliant.
on, easy.
When I type my password
Drop
in
it and
chat,
press
it's our,
Alt.
you know,
Nice
it's you
asterisk.
start
Yeah.
out. Just try it.
I kind of miss those days sometimes. Like, I know it's 98.5% nostalgia, and it's not actually, like...
But it's like the Wild West days of the internet.
I played Muds like all the time, and I like tried going back and just even like I couldn't find the one that I played for hundreds of hours, but it was just one of those things where Wild West. There's all these like people on, and there's text flying through your screen. And, oh yeah, good times.
It's just something different about it.
ICQ would chime in the background. You'd be like, whoa.
What's that?
Aim would be, Oh man, yeah. Me back.
Oh my gosh. Didn't realize I
So,
was playing D&D with some fossils.
Yeah, dude, I literally
Hey,
have
now.
motor oil like in my joints.
Oh, sorry. Did I say that out loud again? I thought I was just in my head again.
I was young enough that I remember trying to convince my parents to pay the $5 a month so I could get access to the rest of the game.
Yeah. Dude, I wish it just remained at that level of predatory forever, without like all this bullshit of like, oh man,
Right?
now you gotta buy the fucking crystals if you wanna not
Right.
spend 8 years playing this game.
Totally agreed. It's gone downhill, especially the mobile market, unfortunately. Because I'm a huge gamer, and I think the mobile market could have been great, and I think it's just totally devolved into like the predatory mindset.
Instead, it's terrible.
Right, like you could release like a full-on 8-bit Pokemon game on mobile, but instead, like, nah, let's just do all the fucking bullshit freemium games. God.
The gacha games.
Yeah.
So many.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you ever see that fan-made Pokemon game? I think it was like Uranium or something.
Yeah.
That's the big one, is Uranium, yeah.
Banging,
There's a
dude.
couple other ones. Insurgents is really good too.
I'm gonna try that.
I
I
don't know
took
if
your.
it's still up.
I tried Hades, and it blew my mind. So thank you for that.
Yes. Hades is
So
so good.
so good. I beat it once and I can't do it again. Like it took. I'm not good at those type of games, but man, it was so fun.
It was an accomplishment when you did beat it. It was just like,
Yes.
oh yeah, that was me.
RuneScape still exists, if anybody was wondering.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're now on RuneScape
New-
3.0.
There's there's a newer version too, but I lost touch.
Oh, there's RuneScape old school too.
Yeah.
I clicked the link and it took me back to that website. Like, oh, it still looks exactly the same. Man.
Art there. I got to give it to people. Mad respect to people that'll grind out like 99 on all those things because it couldn't captivate me for very long.
No.
And now I'm just exploring the old RuneScape map, and it's taking me back. Well, this trip down memory lane brought to you by... Huh. All right. Good session, everybody.
One sec.
Yeah.
Before we break, my armor, did we get it back yet? Or I don't know if you want to finish that up now or wait till next session.
Oh, yeah. You can go back to the blacksmith and pick up your armor. He got it done, so it's restored to its normal stats.
I thank him and I put that armor on.
So, yep, good session, everybody.
Yeah, I'm proud of us.
Sounds like we are not playing next week.
Yeah, so I have a walkthrough at 2:30 down in Colorado Springs, and I'm assuming like it's about it's realistically it's like a 30-minute trip, but you throw traffic in there, and there's always construction. So I'm gonna guesstimate like a 5-minute trip both ways, and then however long the walkthrough is gonna take, and my cousin's gonna meet me down there. So I don't know if we're gonna like get dinner or something afterwards. I just kind of figured it'd be better to have a free and clear schedule. I might be back in time. I don't want to have you guys waiting on a might be, and then it's 4:00 my time. Sorry, I'm busy, and all your nights are messed up.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
You need to take your time too.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right, yeah, you really need to take your time on the walkthrough, and then obviously spending time with family is important too. So go get dinner with family, and we will pick up. Where am I at on my calendar?
Looks like the 8th.
That looks like it is correct. No, the 8th. I was looking at Wednesdays again.
Yeah, it throws me off every now and then too.
So yeah, we'll plan to get back together on the 8th, and you guys can go and defeat these oozes and whatever is summoning them.
The ooze army.
Easy.
Make them pay.
Yep. All right. Well, I will see you guys later. Good luck on the walkthrough. I hope everything goes well, and everybody else stay safe and happy. And I hope the new job keeps going well, Logan.
And
Thank
Logan.
you. Me too, for what it's
Yeah.
worth.
Be safe. Don't walk into any forbidden zones.
Any more restricted areas?
Don't get your head taken off by a roller
Yeah, no.
coaster. It's
Please
really
don't.
dumb.
Don't take no crap from no customer.
No promises.
Beat him up.
Give you any crap?
I could try. Oh,
I'll pretend to be your supervisor and I'll tell him to leave. Get
Yeah.
out.
perfect. I love it.
All right. See you guys. Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
Take care.
See ya. Be well.